Mr. Benegal, we would like to talk about the two people you worked with, Smita and Govind. I think we'll start with Smita. What were your first memories of Smita, that girl, and where was the first time you set your eyes on her?
Well, you see, she was very young, as you know. She was still in college when she started in films with me. And when I took her in the first film that I made was a children's film with her. And when we did that, she was still very much in, she was a very young girl, would come from Pune, and was very enthusiastic about a lot of things, but had no real ambition to be a film actress. And one of the things that I remember was that she used to do a lot of very good work, on film. When she was there on film, she used to do wonderful work, very concentrated and so on. But when she was not in front of the camera, she used to be very distracted. I always used to feel like I was some kind of a schoolmaster with her in the beginning. But after that, when she took filmmaking seriously, when she became a serious actress, and that was, I think, about the time when we made Bhumika, Manthan and Bhumika. At that time, she became very serious as a performer. But before that, I don't think she even thought that she wanted to be an actress. But what I remember of her was that she was always a very quick learner. She learned very quickly. She wasn't a professionally trained actress, but she was she used to learn and absorb very, very quickly. She had a great deal of natural talent, and apart from that, her ability to take on different persona that she was supposed to play was wonderful. I don't know, that was some kind of a gift really, because it was a natural talent, a natural gift. She did work very hard. But she often used to play truant, Bhumika for me was a very important film in terms of her performance and her role, because she was there from the beginning to the end of the film, and it was all, she was the hub of the story, as it were. And she had to be trained in many things, like she had to be trained in fencing, horse riding, a whole lot of things. So we had this person who used to train her in fencing, and she had to wake up early in the morning to go riding the horse at Mahalakshmi Racecourse. She used to do all these things, and one morning I remember I came to the office to find that one of my assistants, Mandeep Kakkar, who worked with me all the way through until a tragic accident in which he died, the plane crash in Bangalore. Now, I was here imagining that Smita is, riding a horse or something like that. And what do I see when I look out my window? She's riding the pillion on Mandeep's motorbike, and then going all over the place, So I used to get a bit irritated by behavior like that, but then she was so young, and it was natural for her to be like that. But I've never found anybody like her after that, because I think it's one of those, she was one of those rare actresses. Also was so versatile, she could play a very glamorous part, she could play very plain parts, she could do anything at all that you wanted her to do. In my own films, the kind of role she's played have been so various and of such great variety. So that was something that I definitely miss.
Mr. Benegal, again, I would like to go right back, because it was the first time you set eyes on her. Was it, somebody she approached you, or your first impression of that girl?
No, nobody approached me. I saw her reading the news, Marathi news on Bombay Doordarshan. In those days, we used to have, there were only 2 channels in all of the country, and one was for Bombay and one was for Delhi. So she was reading the news one day, and I found her presence both riveting and attractive. Both, she seemed to make contact with you in a way that I'd never seen anybody else since. on television. And so I spoke about this, and my sound recordist, Jitendra Ghosh, he knew the family. And he said that they had just moved from Pune to Bombay. And Smita's father, of course, was a minister in the Maharashtra cabinet in those days. And he said that if I was interested, he could speak to them. And I did say yes. And so Hitendra Ghosh went to their house and spoke to Smita. And Smita said, absolutely not. She was not interested in being an actress. It was only the persuasion from her mother that she came to see me. Even then, she didn't take it very seriously until we actually made one film after another.
What was it that made her say no? Was it that she never really got on stage or did any acting before? Or?
She had done some performing as a child as she was growing up. She was, part of these kind of social movement with children and so on and so forth, participatory thing in the rural areas. And she had done a great deal of work like that, meaning, you see, the family was very involved in social and political activities. The mother has continued that, as you know. She runs a whole lot of children's homes and women's vocational training, institutions for village women who come to Bombay and those who have no independent means of their own, to make them independent. So she has done that all her life. That's her mother. And that influence was very strong on Smita. So she also had done a great deal of work of that kind. But she had not done theatre and film in any serious way, She had done some amateur theatre in Pune, but she had learned to do a bit of dancing and things like that. But here, I think this became, her attention got specifically focused to filmmaking after she came to Bombay.